In this episode, we'll be taking a closer look at the bronze sculpture Flora by Gerald Lang at the Inverness Museum and Art Gallery in Scotland. Welcome to Art, Culture and Books with me, Anthony King. As always, I take all the photos and videos myself on location, ensuring that you get an up-close and personal view of the fascinating world of art and culture as if you yourself were there in person. I'll be accompanying you today all the way through this video experience with commentary and information, so make sure you get yourself a cup of tea, relax, and join me all the way through until the end. Today's episode's general knowledge question is, Inverness Castle featured in what Shakespeare play? If you think you know the answer, please tell us in the comments below, along with your thoughts on today's episode. Flora is a bronze sculpture by Gerald Lang, which was created December to April 1982, and this is one of an edition of 10. The gallery label tells us that this sculpture shows Lang in a more naturalistic mode than the American Girl, which refers to another of Lang's bronzes, also at the Inverness Museum, which we will be looking at in a future episode of Art, Culture and Books. The style surely is naturalistic, as we see the beautiful Flora, who was the daughter of Sir Hugh Fraser and Lady Antonia Fraser, reclining relaxingly. For those of you watching who are in the upper classes, you may have heard of Antonia Fraser when she gave the more humble ranks an insight into high society with her titillating personally written articles, because this is the same Antonia Fraser who was married to Sir Hugh Fraser, a British Conservative politician, and who embarked on a passionate love affair with the famous playwright Gerald Pinter. If you have been to the National Portrait Gallery in London, you may have seen a painting of her other daughter called Lady Antonia Fraser with her daughter Natasha by Olwyn Bowery. What an exciting life and incredible family. Her diaries were serialised by the Daily Mail in 2010, which described them in this amusing way. The story of Lady Antonia Fraser's secret love affair with the playwright Gerald Pinter, which ended their marriages, but brought them a lifetime of passion, is the most eagerly awaited book of the year. On Saturday, we revealed the reckless abandon of the night they met and fell in love. Today, in the second part of our exclusive serialization from her diaries, we reveal how they began living together and how they dealt with the disapproval of their affair, not least from her appalled parents, Lord and Lady Longford. The sculpture of her daughter Flora was purchased from the artist with grant aid from the National Fund for Acquisitions in 1995. Flora Fraser, the subject of this sculpture, is an English writer of historical biographies and still so beautiful to this day. I estimate she was around 25 years old when this was originally created. Gerald Lang, who lived in the Scottish Highlands, was born in 1936 in Newcastle upon Tyne. He burst into the British pop art scene in 1962 while still immersed in his art education at St Martin's School of Art. His painting Bridget Bardot, 1963, made its mark at the Royal Society of British Artists Galleries during the Young Contemporaries 63 exhibition in 1963. Following this, Lang ventured to the United States in the same year, forging connections with influential artists such as Andy Warhol, Jane Rosenquist, and Roy Lichtenstein. His summer was spent working alongside Robert Indiana. By 1965, he shifted his focus from abstraction to sculpture, a transition that solidified his standing as one of the leading figurative sculptors in the country by 1973. A retrospective of Lang's work up to that point was showcased at the Fruit Market Gallery in Edinburgh in 1993. Fast forward to the early 21st century, Lang delved into anti-war paintings, drawing inspiration from the haunting photographs of the atrocities at Abu Ghraib. This marked a notable return to pop art. His artistic trajectory continued with a series of paintings featuring Amy Winehouse, followed by the creation of an iconic print of Kate Moss. These works showcased his characteristic simplification of form. Gerald Lang died in 2011, and his impact has endured and will continue to do so. Inverness, located in the Scottish Highlands, is widely acknowledged as the northernmost city in the United Kingdom. With an approximate population of around 50,000, it serves as the administrative centre of the Highland Council area. Inverness is known as the capital of the Highlands. Inverness Museum and Art Gallery is located on Castle Wynd near Inverness Castle, a site with a history dating back to 1057. The original museum opened in 1881, focusing on Highland and Jacobite collections. The museum covers the history and heritage of the Highlands, featuring Scottish geology, natural history, and Highland archaeology on the ground floor. The first floor explores more recent Highland history, including Jacobite memorabilia, Inverness silver, Highland weapons, and bagpipes. You've been joined today by Anthony King, but now it's your turn. What are your thoughts on Flora by Gerald Lang? Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to hear your comments, thoughts and views below. Now, how did you get along with today's episode's general knowledge question, which was, Inverness Castle featured in what Shakespeare's play? Answers below. You can find out more about me on my website, anthony-king.com, where you can support me by purchasing one of my books, and I do have a Patreon account where you can find lots of exclusives and behind the scenes content.